So yes, I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Wow.
I made out a plan for like the next 10 years till 2028. Hikes that I want to do, what I want to see.
So you made a 10-year plan after the doctor gave you a 3 to 6 month diagnosis?
Yes.
How difficult is it to just keep the blinders on and keep that positive mindset?
It makes everything an exact fork in the road. You have 2 choices. So it leaves you very little choice. I mean, you can just, some people get a diagnosis like that and they just never go back to the doctor. Other people are like, let's go. I stopped chemo just barely over 3 weeks before I start the AT.
Wow. Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by The Trek, brought to you by LMNT. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis. Sitting to my right is...
I am Juliana Chaunce, a.k.a. Chaunce.
Few reminders before we get to today's episode is this is going to be the last call if you thru-hiked the AT this year. We would love if you could participate in the AT Thru-Hiker Survey. This proved to be invaluable for future classes of AT hikers, letting them know what gear works, your favorite hostels, basically everything that went right and wrong during your thru-hike. The link to be a part of that is available in the show notes. Next is if you're taking on a long-distance trek next year and you want to be part of the baddest team in the backcountry, applications to join the Trek blogging team are available in the show notes. A few of the highlights of being a part of the program is we send out mail drops. I think Jess sent out like 25 mail. I just went through the credit card statement and it was a lot. Just, mail drops to our standout contributors. We've got gear discounts to some of the best brands in backpacking, and you get featured on the Trek's large and thriving social media platforms, in addition to reaching a large audience and having an easy-to-use platform, all the good stuff. Can be a Triple Crown Trail, a shorter trail, long-ass section hike. We like them all. Link to apply is in the show notes. Last but not least, if you want to support this very podcast, you can do so. Patreon.com/backpackerradio. Chaunce?
It is the best way to get us in your ears without any breaks or delays or ads. And if you like listening to the show, it also helps keep the lights on. It's a great way to make sure that, oh, look, the lights just turned on.
Yeah.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yes, let's say yes.
Yes. We get to keep that light on specifically. And yeah, it just gives us the ability to do more stuff. Like if you want us to be able to go places like trail days or little trips to reach different audiences in terms of guests. We are really picky about wanting things to be in person, and having the ability to be able to go places to do that is great. Would love to do more of it if we had the means.
Yeah. And if you are a Patreon, send us a note through Patreon. We're always looking for ways to make it better for you guys. So whether that's exclusive content or something else, just let us know what you like. We're always listening. Patreon.com/backpackerradio. Okay, let's get to today's interview with Jeff Longstrides Vonvai.
von-VIE.
von-VIE.
You asked, and then you messed it up.
I know. I should have done the phonetic. Got started long-distance hiking on the Camino Francés and quickly continued with Camino Portugues, AT, PCT, and came straight to the studio via the CDT en route to his Triple Crown. Longstrides has done all this hiking with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis that has hardly slowed him down. Longstrides, thank you so much for joining us here on Backpacker Radio.
Thank you.
So let's start with the origin story. What got you into the outdoors?
Well, I've always liked the outdoors and also anything kind of physical, and used to be into cycling and that kind of stuff. I think later in life, I mean, everyone's hiked, but not hiked. And I moved to Tucson 2008, 9-ish, right in there. A lot of good hiking in Tucson, and that kind of got me more interested in it. So that's what kind of pushed me a little bit further into it.
Is that where you fell in love with desert hiking?
I do like desert hiking. Desert's not for everybody, but I love the desert.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. It has a different feel, different colors, just vibes than anything else that you're ever going to hike through.
Yeah. Elaborate on the elevator pitch, because Chaunce isn't sold yet.
Like, yeah, but it's great for some people.
Well, it's just sunrises and sunsets. Nothing looks the same as it does the desert. And of course, I'm in southern Arizona, Tucson, which the big saguaro cactus. Those are only native to northern Mexico and southern Arizona. So that's the only place you can see them. And walking around them and as old as they are, it's different. And then you have the flowers, the barrel cactus, they all flower and everything. And then down in Tucson, you're surrounded by the Catalina Mountains, so you have water and trees and just there's a lot of ecosystem that you walk through. It's all a desert climate at least, but not all of it is sand and lizards.
Yeah.
So,
are you a baseball guy?
I like baseball a bit.
Yeah. I asked because spring training's in your backyard, or was in your backyard.
Yeah, well, up in Phoenix.
Yeah, okay.
More. A little bit in Tucson, but
Okay.
It's mostly in Phoenix because just facilities are just nicer.
Yeah.
How did you get from enjoying the outdoors in Arizona to through hiking? Because I'm surprised I don't see the Arizona Trail on this list.
Well, and I haven't through hiked it, but I've done big sections of it. I love the Arizona Trail. It's, part of it, but I haven't completed it, and, I've just done some of it, which is some of the stuff that helped me get to it. And really the through hiking part of it started in 2018 when I did the first Camino, the Camino Frances. I was at a point in my life where I had to kind of change everything. And so everyone goes through things. So I thought I needed to change this. And so I did reconfigure my life. And I headed off to Spain and spent 3 months in Europe, and 33 of it doing the Camino Frances. At the end of that made me, I want to go further with this, long trails, the day-to-day grind, and, the day-to-day meditation, I should say, not grind. And I liked that. So that's kind of where it started. So it really wasn't just through hiking kind of fit what I needed in my life adjustment.
Why were you adjusting?
Not a super crazy story. I was in a bad relationship that I needed to get myself out of. I had somebody close to me pass away. These are all things that happen to just about everybody. So, but I was also pushing 50. I was almost getting to 50. I thought, I cannot do this. I have to stop the hamster wheel that I'm on. I've got to change things. Wherever the chips fall, where the chips fall, but I'm done. I got to go. So at the end of 2017, I left that job in December 17th, 2017, and April 4th of 18, I was taking my first steps from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, France, onto the Frances.
What were you doing for work?
I used to manage. I was in the car business for years, and then in the last bit, I used to work in the Airstream business, the trailers. So down in Tucson. So so not exciting, but the day job, the grind that pays the bills for you and everyone attached to you.
Yeah. So we obviously mentioned it in your intro, but it sounds like shortly after that first through hike is when you got some life-changing news.
Yeah, I came back from Europe, and I knew doing the first Camino Frances that this is, I really wanted to, I don't know where I was going, but I knew I wanted to include this at some level to that. And when I got back, I needed to do a little traveling around the United States, visit some people I hadn't seen in years because I worked all the time, that wasn't possible. So I really just goofed more than anything, just decompressed more than anything, and tried to think about things. And then it was September of 19. I was about to make some decisions on what to do. The AT was kind of in my orbit of things that I was very interested in doing. But September 19th, I did have I had some pain that I thought I had a kidney stone. I don't know if you've ever had a kidney stone before.
I've heard it's not the most fun experience.
Yeah, I've had one once, and it felt like that. Got me in the emergency room, this, that, and the other. They said, you don't have anything else to pass. I'd passed something, but they said, you need to see a doctor immediately, though, because they took a little CAT scan of my abdomen. So, but at that time,
sorry to interrupt. Did it feel any different than the previous kidney stone? Like similar but different, or the same?
It was just kind of, in the side. It's in the front, on the side, kind of down by your pelvic bone, kind of in that area.
Okay.
And it's just like a knife stabbing you.
Yeah.
So I thought I passed it in the emergency room, and the doctor, he thought it was too. The nurse, after he left, looked at it and goes, I don't think that's a kidney stone. I think it's a blood clot. And he comes back and says, well, you're clear, but because they said, we'll send you for a CAT scan to make sure you're not going to pass anything else, and if so, we can give you some medicine. So it's great. CAT scan. He goes, you need to see a doctor immediately.
Hmm.
And that's what spiraled. So yes, I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Wow.
And at that point, I had gotten so blocked that they went ahead and had to do a colostomy. I don't know if you're familiar with what a colostomy is. You want me to explain what that is for you? Okay. This is the very layman's way of describing this, since I'm a layman. You have your stomach, okay? Well, that's where everything goes, and then you have what I call the golden horseshoe. It's just your colon that goes all the way around like this. And as it goes up, it makes pit stops at the kidney and liver for filtration and stuff, as your, human waste does, and then it goes around this way. And as it keeps going around underneath your sternum and down to your left side, it solidifies until it reaches your rectum, and then you get rid of stuff. Mine was way over on this left side, right above my rectum, so they did a colostomy right at that point. What that is they put a hole in my abdomen, and when I go to the bathroom, it would come out there.
No.
Yeah, and it goes into a bag. It's called a colostomy bag.
You were pooping from your stomach?
Well, it's kind of
not in the stomach, but your belly.
But your colon, which is basically the highway to the rectum, if that's a good way to explain it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it wasn't good, but I had bigger things because they played with timelines of 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
So, which I didn't know at the time, because I told everybody close to me, don't tell me. I don't want to know anything good, bad, or indifferent. I've never Googled anything, WebMD, anything, nothing ever. Focus. And so I had that, and then I went into chemo. Luckily, I live in Michigan now, and I'm at the U of M, which is one of the top cancer research hospitals in the world. My doctor is head of the colorectal department of oncology. He took me on. I got to be on a study drug in addition to 6 other chemos. So when I go for chemo, boy, I go for chemo. Every chemo's his calendar year triple crown. So, and he said, if we can get this reduced enough, you could qualify for an experimental surgery to help out too, because they had also found out that it had already spread to my peritoneal, which is the lining of my stomach. So it had already spread.
It's crazy to me that you didn't have any symptoms up until the point that it was already stage 4. Like, that seems unfair.
Yeah. Well, and I can look back, and I had a few little symptoms, but nothing that would draw big thing. And also, even at the very beginning of this, my blood work looked great.
Really?
Yeah.
No elevated white blood cell count or anything like
Nope.
that? Wow. Just one quick question before.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what were the other symptoms, like the small symptoms?
Well, I mean, it could be like something as small as constipation. I have, but that, I mean,
Right, everyone.
that's literally 100% of the population.
Sure.
So I did have a couple of episodes where I felt like I got the flu really bad, and it would last for about 4 hours and go away. And I talked about that with somebody else, and they said that could be, and they gave me a long explanation, and it's probably an indicator.
Wow, okay.
And also, I lost a bunch of weight when I did the Camino Frances, and plus I walked all over Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, I was constantly moving, and I lost weight like we all do.
Right.
Things. I never gained it back.
Huh.
And these through hikes, well, I gained back real fast.
Yeah.
So it never came back. If anything, I probably lost another 5 pounds.
Huh. And that's because the cancer is preventing you from absorbing nutrients, or?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
That's one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Do you poop out of your butt now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everything's turned back around. Once I had that and I went into chemo, I don't think they were super, very low percentage shot that I was going to be able to reduce the tumors enough to qualify for this surgery. And that's one surgery. They've done a couple of exploration surgeries already. But this.
So let me backtrack a second. So you get an experimental drug plus like a heavy
Regular
dose of chemo.
Yeah, six different.
And
chemos.
you need that to work to qualify for the experimental surgery?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And here's the thing is, so obviously I'm not hiking, but we're also walking right into the beginning of COVID. So no one's really hiking. So it all worked out in my favor.
I like that you
Silver
still have your
lining.
hiking plans on the mind.
Well, and that's part of it. So I'll tell you, when I, during all this and everything, I couldn't do much. COVID, we don't know what COVID's going to be. I could be super high risk.
Sure.
I did live alone, so that was good and everything. So I made out a plan for like the next 10 years till 2028. Hikes that I want to do, what I want to see. I tried to meticulously kind of plug this along together. And
So you made a 10-year plan after the doctor gave you a 3 to 6 month diagnosis?
yes,
And how much of the fact that you're still out here crushing miles do you attribute to having that sort of carrot?
I give most of my credit to my oncologist and my surgeon who's had a surgery review of him.
Yeah.
But there is a small part, and this can be, you can put this to anything in your life, is if you put blinders on and just push, fight, just go. Don't listen to anything. Reason I didn't want anybody to say anything is if someone told me something good about my condition, then I'd get excited and I'd wait for the signs of that thing to happen to me. And if they don't happen, then I'm going to think it's the opposite and it's going to be terrible and I'm going to start to go down.
Yeah.
If they tell me something that's terrible, well, my thoughts are going to dwell on that and I'm going to go down.
How difficult is it to just keep the blinders on and keep that positive mindset? That seems difficult to me. Like that would be a challenge.
I was
for me.
blessed to be very stupid, so it's very it's very easy.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or whatever you just said. I don't even know. No. Well, I think part of it is I am pretty stubborn, and I'm a determined person, so I have that. But I also think the other part of it is it makes everything an exact fork in the road. You have two choices. So it leaves you very little choice. I mean, you can just, some people get a diagnosis like that and they just never go back to the doctor. Other people are like, let's go. And not that I'm great, it's just your choices are very limited. And when you don't have something big like that, you seem to have a million choices that you're constantly deciding, you don't know what to pull from.
Yeah.
It makes it very singular in your thinking.
Yeah.
So in a way, the cancer will help you fight cancer.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It makes sense for sure.
What do the doctors think about the through hiking? Because I imagine they don't probably get many patients that are spending the time out of the hospital doing this kind of thing.
Well, I'm lucky. My oncologist, he's a cyclist, a marathoner, triathlete guy. He's a little older than me. Great guy, super smart, very encouraging to what I. Although some. I'll tell you more as we go down the progression of this, but I'm always flunking my tests. I always have it. So, and we kind of piece me back. He pieces me back together, and it's like that. And then we're looking at tests together. And he goes, "Yeah, just go. If you feel bad, come home." That's it. That's all you. Just if I feel bad, come back.
I would think that maybe your tests look better with so much physical activity versus just like sitting at home. That's kind of my question: is have they noticed that it's impacted anything differently than a patient who would have just gone back and sat down?
There are some initial studies that are showing now that people that no exercise versus moderate exercise versus excessive exercise, which would be us, that they think there are some signs of a difference. Being obviously excessive exercise is helpful. I think I'm in that study because I think he's already published paperwork on me because no one's got to where I'm at with what I got. So chemo, I had the colostomy and I go into chemo. It does bring it down enough and they decided to do surgery. It's about a it's called HIPEC surgery, and it's about, I think I was under for 13 or 14 hours.
Wow.
And during that, and you'll not like this. So they took the colostomy out, and they had to remove that little section of colon and put everything back together. But when they put that back together, then on the other side of the colon, then they put what they call an ileostomy. So it's another bag, but on this side, and it's keeping everything on the highway from getting around to here to where all this new work's done. But that's not solid. It has
this is going to be the best answer to a question that I've ever had.
Okay.
And I don't think we ever thought we would get the answer to this. Do you remember our question of the day? When does poop start smelling like poop?
Yeah.
And we talked about at some point it's got to start smelling like poop.
Yeah.
Well, you've had bagged poop from all these different.
Right.
When does it? Have you noticed when it starts to smell like poop? Like, does it smell like poop coming out of this
Between the bags
side?
somewhere.
Yeah. At the first pit stop back here before like liver kidney area, it doesn't really smell that bad. And then, not that it smells, but over here, it still doesn't smell bad, but it starts to, it's like what we're used to.
Yeah.
So somewhere in there.
Diet poop, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's once it's over on this side, on your left side, you're.
I've got a couple more questions out of curiosity.
Shoot.
When it's coming out on the other side, on this side, the pooper side, poopier side, when it comes, do you still have to push, or does it come out on its own?
It'll come out on its own.
Are you just sitting there and then you like feel something and you look down and there's just like a log like slowly coming out?
Kind of, but you have a bag that's like
It's
opaque.
catching
You
it.
can't see anything.
Oh.
And but you feel it kind of. You can kind of feel right in there. You can feel it start to happen, and you think, and then you can see the bag move as.
Do they?
It looks identical to what you're thinking.
Well, I'm wondering more. Does it stay like long, consistent, like a swirly of ice cream coil? 'Cause
Yes.
I feel like when it breaks, you ever get like a really good, large sized piece that you look at and you're like, that was great, or it breaks and then you're like, ugh. But if you're not pushing it out of the bum, I'm sure it stays all together and you're just looking at it like, wow.
Pretty much, it'll do the same thing. Whereas it maybe one piece or maybe two or three, depending on something, and maybe you're laying down funky, and you bent over and and it.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Fascinating.
Okay, so
Those are my poop questions.
Yeah, they remove part of your colon. You get the ileos.
The colostomy that they've removed, and now on the other side they've put in the ileostomy to keep all the feces coming around to the incision on this side that they've all done.
Yeah.
The actual HIPEC surgery itself, so they split me from right underneath my sternum all the way to below my waistline, and they open you up, and he took basically everything out, and goes through everything with a fine-tooth comb. He removed a couple little things that, like fatty tissue stuff that we all have that we don't need, but cancer likes to grab a hold of. Remove that, and then they heat up chemo to 105 or 130 degrees, something like that, and they fill the cavity with that, and they temporarily close you up, and everyone goes and eats and goes to the bathroom in the operating room for about an hour and a half, and they come out and then they drain me, and then they go back through the stuff. He goes back through it again and then puts me up.
Wow.
So that surgery, I did have a colostomy removed, an ileostomy put in, colon, redone there, and then the HIPEC surgery. That was it was like I said, it's like almost 14 hours, I believe, in surgery, but it was 15 days in the hospital before I can go.
So what is the outcome of that? I assume they're measuring the total amount of cancer before and after the operation.
Yeah.
What are they looking for in terms of goals?
Well, I mean, they think that the chemo had killed the tumors enough in the colon, and then they took the colon out where the tumors were attached, so they're gone. The peritoneal, the lining in my stomach, that was really more for the HIPEC surgery. They got that as well. Okay. So after this, then I was pretty good, other than so much chemo. Chemo's the worst. So I was lethargic most of the time, but I was moving through life. But I was ready to get going. Now I had the ileostomy, and I can't do hikes with that. So once we got all the thumbs up, I told them, said, we got to get rid of this. And they're like, well, I go, no. I've earned it. And they go, you have. So I went in, got that taken care of. Everything just like a brand new little guy. I'm a brand new kid.
Yeah.
So everything works great. I had my sights set on the AT, but I kind of missed the weather window to go northbound. I was a little bit too far, and I needed the most time as I could because I was pretty weak.
And we're looking at 21 now?
No, we're at 22.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at 22. I was going to miss it, but I thought, I gotta go. I gotta get out there. So, like 3 weeks before this, this decision I made, I said, well, I'm gonna go back to Europe, and I'm gonna see a couple things I'd like to see that I didn't see the first time around, and I'm gonna do the Camino Portuguese and I'm gonna do the Camino Norte, back to back.
Is that riskier because you are so far from your medical team, being across the pond?
No.
Okay.
I mean, they have doctors. I mean, it's
Sure.
all my medical records are on my phone.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so diagnosis and surgery is in 2020, right?
2019, end of 2019.
So I guess walk me through that time span to when you get onto 22. Like, is that just mostly you recovering from chemo, or what are the highlights?
Yeah, I mean, I feel chemo today, but I've had to go back into chemo a few times. We'll get to, but I mean, I'd had a ton of chemo, few surgeries, one being colossal, and but they said go. So and at that point I was cancer free. So that was crazy.
Wow.
So that gave
and you
me
got the cancer-free diagnosis in 22?
Right before that. Yeah, right before I was going to go.
Okay.
Well, really months before. I was trying to figure out. I had some other things going. I was trying to get that AT window.
Yeah.
And
so when you say that you're failing the tests,
well,
how does that work with being cancer-free?
Well, so when I go on 22, I decided to go to Europe and do the Camino Portuguese and Norte back to back. So I got 2 more Caminos in, and then I come back, and of course they scan me every 3 months, but for this it'd be every 6. So I came back 6, flunked all the tests. So it was showing. Actually, I think there was just a small spot in the peritoneal, which is the line of the stomach. Again, colon's fine. But it was showing up. I had spots in my liver now and in my lungs. So it had spread to my liver and my lungs.
Oof. So
back into chemo we go. So we go into chemo. The lungs start to reduce the spots. I had like 3 or I don't even know, little spots. And then the liver had 2. They found a 3rd later. In my liver, and they gave me a bunch of chemo, and then they did an ablation. And ablations where they make a couple of holes in my back, and they go in with needles into my liver and follow veins to the spots, and they just burn them, and they remove them.
Wow! And
then they send them to pathology and look at it, and they got all 3 of them, and they said that the chemo had killed them.
Wow!
So. And so that was done, and then the lungs had gone down to just nearly nothing, but I still had a bunch of chemo, and I said April 4th, 23. That's AT, and he goes, all right, So we get going, and
he's not discouraging you at all. I know.
Oh no,
that's Chaunce's question, but
no.
Like having trouble grasping.
Oh,
doctors like after a cancer diagnosis being like 2,200 miles, cool. Like that seems.
Yeah, no insurance. You should go on trail.
Yeah.
No. No, he's fantastic. And what am I going to do?
Right.
I mean, again, when you have that kind of diagnosis, it makes decisions very easy. So I get the ablation, the things, and now we're getting down, and we do a couple more rounds of chemo after the ablation and stuff. And so now we're in the timeline of the AT. I stopped chemo just barely over 3 weeks before I start the AT.
Wow.
And the AT. So I get out there, I'm ready to go. And day one was horrible. Surgeries I can do, I mean, they hurt, and especially the big one, and a lot of recovery and stuff, but you can gut it out. Chemo is like a giant weight from the gym attached to your leg, and you're just dragging it. Mm-hmm. And every month or two, it gets a little bit smaller. But it's hard to explain. Yeah. Chemo is. I just fog a lot. I also, from all the chemo that I've had in total, I've had 50 rounds of chemo now. Wow. But I have real bad neuropathy in my hands and feet. So there's been times when I've only had like 30% of feeling in my hands and feet. Wow. I've done these 3 trails on 75% of feeling. Wow. And what I do have kind of hurts, like a sharp nerve pain. So, but once I get out there and go, the day 2 was the worst. I couldn't feel my tent stakes. I was the last person into camp. I was the last person out in the morning because I'm so sleepy. I'm still just, lethargic and stupid AT. I can't believe I look at it now, back at it, I was like, what was I thinking? So, and I remember that day, the second day, I couldn't feel the tent stakes, and I was talking to somebody who I'm still friends with, and he went ahead and went, and I got everything together, and I said, this is stupid. I can't do this. I mean, no one knows, but I don't want to, bring the mood down. And this is stupid. I can't do this. This is the dumbest thing. And I've got like 2,100 and something, 83 miles left, And it's like, it's not going to work, And I just sat there for a minute, packed, ready to go. And I almost thought I'd just go back the other way, And I thought, dude, you have no time. You can't just bail out of these hikes and go, well, next year I'll be better, and I may not, So I just stood up, I said, just shut your mouth. Stop bitching. Point north. 1 step. Stop being a fucking baby and go. And that was really the last time I had that conversation. It was worse. I'm paraphrasing, but it was a terrible conversation I had with myself, but that was it. Yeah. And like day 3 or 4, you're in like some place that has a really sweet little hostel. I got in there and I took a day off, like day 3 or something. Yeah. It took a 0 day. And there was a bunch of people there that 2, 3, 4, 5 people there that I'm still friends with today that had one issue or another, that all made it, and I'm still friends with them.
That's cool.
And so it took me 6 months and 6 days to do the AT, but I got there.
Not even that slow. I mean, yeah. That's I'd say a pretty average time. I know you said that was the last time during that hike that you had that internal dialogue with yourself. Did things get easier, or is it just you were used to dealing with it? What changed?
Well, physically it got easier as I hiked further away from my last chemo appointment. It does get better. Okay. But I'll never be 100%. I just won't be. And that's okay. Some people never get to do anything. They get a diagnosis and 3 months later they're dead. So I'm killing it. So I'm fine with it. But yeah, I come back from the AT and I take my tests. I do my scans. Flunked. It's worse in my peritoneum and my lining in my stomach. I think I've got something else in my chest now. And then the liver's still good. Colon's still good. I see the tests before my doctor. He'll just message me. I get it on my phone and I'm reading it. I can. At this point, I know. I'm like, well, what? I almost expect it. So this is good. So my actual doctor's appointment with my oncologist, like 2 days later, 3 days after the tests, the test results. And I'm in there and I'm hanging out, and he opens the door and he goes, "Okay, so when do we leave for the PCT?" Because we've already talked about it a little bit. And I go, "It's the same day, April 4th, just 23."
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, 24. And he goes, and he's kind of goes, and he's, "All right, He goes, well, let's just hit it as hard as we can, as fast as we can, and we'll just see. And I go, sounds good. And so I went right back into chemo, and I came out of chemo 5 weeks before I took off on last year on the PCT on the same day, April 4th.
So it sounds like before you're starting the AT, at least, things are in a pretty good state, all things considered. Obviously, you're on chemo, but it sounds like the cancer has remissed or been removed.
Well, yeah, the ablation was very good on the liver, so it's a day surgery.
Yeah.
So that was sweet.
Yeah.
And it brought the lungs down, those spots in my lungs brought those down pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still little, but pretty manageable. And then everything else was kind of good.
Yeah.
So just the chemo,
Right.
was just the killer. But really it was, I mean, it's a terrible diagnosis, but it's pretty good for me.
Yeah.
So
then you hike the AT, you come back, take another test, and things have gotten worse.
we just flunked it, it's worse. It's lungs are back, the peritoneal, the linus is back.
Yeah.
So it's just back into chemo again.
Is there any part of you that's wrestling with the idea that maybe something with the hiking life is making things worse, or
No way. Don't be so weird.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, again, you start off with a 3 to 6 month diagnosis, so
No, I think, yeah. And that was 19. This is, what is this? 25?
25.
Okay. So we're 6 years in.
Yeah,
My surgeon, who is fantastic, he's just great. He didn't have much filter. He'd tell me, he goes, we don't know. He goes, we've never been this far with anybody.
Wow.
With what you have. You're like more than 1 in a billion.
Yeah,
So there's no way that anything I'm doing
is making it worse.
It's got to be making it better.
Yeah, right.
And at the very least, just your attitude's better, and you're out there, you're at fresh air, and you're just, I don't know, the meditation of through hiking, which is a lot of it. Get in that your mind gets clearer, and anytime your mind's clear, I don't care what it is, any problem you have, big, small, whatever, is better the clearer your mind.
Yeah.
No matter what. If we could use 100% of our minds, we could cure everything. That's it. I mean, with 10%, every time we get a cut, our brain knows to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Okay, so your doctor knows just out the jump that
He goes,
you're planning
when
for
are we
PCT.
going? I go, the same day. And he goes, okay. And so, we go, and it works pretty well. We reduce everything down. Everything looks real good. I have my smaller, it seems very stable, and we're good. So off I go on the PCT. I have a blast. Biggest trail family I've ever been in. Having a good time. I'm starting to lose weight again normally on the hike, because I gain it right back when I get on, because I eat. This hike, I'm determined to be good when I get off. But during the PCT, I was somewhere in probably, I don't even know, Northern California somewhere, 1,500 miles in, probably. I'd lost enough weight to where I could feel a big, knot right here on my right side, lower abdomen, kind of where a hernia would be, but it didn't hurt at all. So it wasn't that. And I go, I think I know what that is. But I said, nothing I can do about it out here. I got to get to Canada. So go. But every once in a while I go, it's still there. So I made it through the PCT.
Yeah.
Great. I love the PCT. It's High Sierras were probably the coolest thing I've ever hiked through.
Yeah.
And then I get back and take that test, and I flunk it real well. So what it is I have a tumor. It's about 1 inch in diameter on my lower abdomen. And I come in and you go, well, it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be. So, but it's external. It's on my abdominal wall. It's not an internal organ. So, super excited about that. So we talk about it and talk about chemo, but he's like, I go, what about surgery? He goes, yeah, I think we should have Dr. Bender take a look at this. And so a surgeon takes a look and he goes, I can get all that. I can get it. And they did all the scans and we're pretty much solid. So they cut. So I left on this hike June 13th. February 15th of this year, I went in for surgery, and they cut about a 1 inch diameter tumor out of my abdominal wall, and then he rebuilt it with like mesh and stuff, and got everything together and got me real tight. He said he's going to go real hard because he knows what I'm, and it worked out great. Took it to pathology, definitely cancer, and everything else looked good. I still have, like 4 spots in my lungs that they're about 3 millimeters each, and we're just kind of keeping an eye on those, but they seem stable enough, and I feel good. But I haven't had chemo since, before the PCT, so I don't feel great, but I feel great, So, and I was in the hospital for that 3 days. Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but I had to, not lift anything heavy for 6 weeks, and I was good to go.
So I want to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned when you were struggling early on the AT that you didn't want to say anything to anyone around you to, I think, use your words, not to dampen the mood.
Right.
As you're developing hiking families, are you then revealing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and this is all new ground for me, obviously. So I don't say anything because it's a bummer, and but then, I have the YouTube and, the channel and the Instagram and stuff, and they're following because they're like, well, I'm just going to quit taking pictures because I'm just telling my family to follow your YouTube. It's a daily follow. They just say, I'm just right next to him right there. So, but the thing is, they see it, and I do mention it at the beginning of each hike, like, hey, this is so-and-so, because I do have, some cancer folks that follow me and message, and I've had a couple pass. So, but the thing is, they'll see it. They'll see the cancer. They go, and then they kind of go, "Hey, man, why didn't you tell us?" And I thought, all right, well, okay, I've handled this poorly, So once I'm hiking with somebody for a time, and we're getting to be friends, and they're gonna look at this stuff and go, "Hey, just so you know," and I try and go, "Now everything is fine. I mean, it's not, but everything's fine. I don't want to make it weird. I don't want to bum you guys out, but it's also better to hear it from me than to just see it on TV." And I just tell them, and it's worked out way better. Yeah. But most people, I know a ton of people, it's not that there's a ton of people on the CDT, but I know a lot of them, and 95% have no idea.
Yeah.
So
what are the typical reactions that you get?
Well, kindness and, care and, empathy, that kind of stuff. And that's great. And I love them for it, and it's all great. Roast me, man. Let's just get stupid and let's laugh. Life is, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have cancer to beat the shit out of you. You better start laughing, or things are going to be a problem. So, trail families that I've developed and friendships, the more they're like, "Do you think you can live through the day? Because this is going to be a long day." They say, like, "Oh, yeah, right." It's like, "Oh man, I love you. Thanks, buddy." So much better. I renews my whole day instead of like, "Oh well, I don't want to melodrama and all that." I'm out. Yeah. So, and once they realize that, and and I say stuff like, the water source is 3 tenths down this hill, and so someone's probably going to just take a bunch of bottles instead of everyone going down there. And I was like, I'd go, but my cancer is so bad. They're like, "Bullshit, man! You're going. You've been gone forever." I go, "Oh, I thought maybe it'd work." So it's just a lot of that. Yeah. And that's what's important, because what's important is us, getting through the hike, and kind of keeping an eye on each other's backs, and chasing town food. Yeah. That's priorities.
Right. Like most of hikers.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have any, in addition to just being, I'm sure, inspiration for a ton of people with cancer that are probably looking for physical outlets and just something to keep them motivated, do you have any specific tips of things that you have to do to make this work, or is it all just positive mindset? Are there things that you're doing day to day on trail that are helping you?
As far as to make it through the hike?
Yeah, I guess related to the cancer.
Not really. Okay. Honestly, I don't think about it very much. There was a woman, she's younger than me. I can't remember her name, but she's on the PCT, and I didn't really know her. I kind of knew her, but not really. and she was talking to 3 or 4 of us, and we were talking about something, and she had a, I think skin cancer, like a melanoma. It had recurred like a couple times. It was on her legs and stuff, and we're like, oh yeah, that's. And she goes, yeah, but it's good, everything, just cut it off, and it was bad enough that they want to see me every once in a while because it could be something, and blah blah blah, and we're like, oh, okay, well that's good. And she's real cool and very smart, and just a person that you listen to. And it was like 10 minutes in that conversation, and I'm like, I just don't even, I never think about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's too bad. You'll be all right, probably. I don't know. Like, hey, wait a minute. I can relate to this. So, yeah, you've got to think about other things. You've got to control your mind.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with through hiking. That's just life. You've got to control your mind. If anything, I think through hiking helps, even though I know we think about a bazillion things out on trail about everything. But that's part of it. You're thinking about everything but that, at least for me.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not extraordinary in that respect. I think everyone kind of, thinks like that.
Yeah.
I think.
Have you always had such a good control of your mindset, or is
no? No. When I was younger, I ruminated on things. I worried about things. I dwelled in the past. I worried about the future. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
My day to day? Yeah.
Right. Well, people say, it's like, well, there's only regret in the past and anxiety in the future. The only peace is right now. It's like, well, that sounds right. But, how do we do it? And I was getting better at it because I was tired of my life and the grind that it was. So I was getting better. Cancer helped me focus it. And because I had to make that decision to stay as present as I could. And hiking keeps you very present.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably the biggest help of through hiking is it keeps you present, which keeps you present.
Yeah. Would you say that overall you're just in a better mindset today than you were maybe 3-4 years before the cancer?
I'm happier now than I've ever been in my whole life.
Wow.
For sure.
That's awesome.
I wish I didn't have cancer though.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. That again, fair. Okay, so finish the PCT, back to the doctors. You say fail test. You've got the thing removed. Is the conversation with the doctor the same? He's like, "When's the CDT?" Like he knows.
Yeah,
what to
he
expect
knew.
from you?
Yeah, he knew that the CDT was next. He knows the whole timeline, and he's like, and I said, "I'm southbound on the," and he goes, and I go, "We start like over 2 months later." He goes, "Oh, okay," because we're used to April 4th.
Yeah.
April 4th AT, April 4th PCT, and the reason that is obviously it's a good time to start those, but it also mimics that first Camino that I did in 2018 was on April 4th, 2018. So, and my birthday's in April, so that's 3 birthdays I got to spend on trail, which is pretty fun.
Nice.
I go, no, we have like an extra 2.5 months because I'm going southbound. And he goes, oh, okay. So you have recovery time from the surgery. I go, yeah, I'm good. And I got to go back to trail days this year, it was in May. So I got to go back to that. That was fun. And I thought it was important, with all the devastation from Helene. And I thought it was important. There's a bunch of people from 23 that decided to kind of go and be together and, spread some money around just to kind of do what little we could.
Yeah.
AT special, so.
In addition to the off-season chemo, is there anything that you have to do to ready your body? Like, are you intentionally putting on weight, or like what does your off season look like?
I'm trying not to put on weight. Yeah, because the weight you put on between a thru hike, it's super fast.
Yeah.
And it's nothing, so it's just dead weight that comes off super fast. But in those first 6 weeks, you drop that weight that you gain in the off season.
Yeah.
You just had to hike with it.
Yeah.
It's just taking extra. It's just like, hey, why don't you just take extra clothes?
Yeah.
I don't need extra. Yeah, you just take them. Yeah, you can ship them back week 6. So no, and I don't train. Well, the thing about training is, literally, I will be in chemo. The first 2 with AT and PCT. It's like within 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, I'm so lethargic, and I, take a couple naps a day, sleep a solid 10 hours a night. If I clean my house, I have to do one room and then stop and hang out on the couch for a while and then do another one. I mean, it's an all-day deal.
Yeah.
It's just, so training, no training.
Yeah.
So I just get out there and just let the trail, beat the shit out of me for 4 to 6 weeks, and then I'm ready to go.
So what was the decision to go southbound on this one?
I don't read everything and follow everybody, as I try to kind of glimpse at people, and since I had the YouTube, someone told me, so try and find somebody that's kind of a different generation on both sides of you, and kind of look at some of their videos, because they see stuff that they're going through the same things, but they see things a little differently, just out of their eyes. And that was great advice, because that's very true. What they decide is important is different. And but through watching them, one thing they did have in common, didn't matter how far their age was in the deal, is they all liked Sobo, because there was a little bit bigger weather window. And so I thought that made a lot of sense. So that's what I decided. That's what made me decide to do it. And I could into New Mexico, which I have family in New Mexico, so I can spend some time with them and kind of,
What's the buzz on the trail with the new news about the southern terminus?
It's not good. And I just got this 3 days ago or whatever it was, 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm real disappointed with that. A lot of reason is one thing for us U.S. citizens. I have when I fly domestically, I have the real ID, on your license where it has a thing, so TSA. So whatever that deal, that should be good enough for us. But for foreign nationals that have come over here, now I know 2 people from Japan, I know 4 Germans, 3 Danes, a Brit who I was hiking with for a while. She's a little ahead, she's in China. And they really, you think we put our lives on hold. And fly over. They have to go through a lengthy process for that 6-month visa, and they really have to provide a tremendous amount of documentation. I feel probably more than you need to documentation you need to provide for making that last 1.1 mile to the terminus that they've closed off. But they are not allowed to do it. It doesn't matter what they come up with. I think their visa should work. I don't know. I'm in a group text with 1 billion people, and everybody's saying a lot of different things. And a couple things that I thought were a good idea is I don't know how much it would matter. Is just none of us go to the terminus, and we just stand together with our fellow hikers from across the ocean that have made even a bigger sacrifice to get here. So we all just finish together. And it's only 1 mile. I mean, although I can probably, I don't know if I can ever come back. I really would like my picture with the terminus from a selfish standpoint. So hopefully we won't do that. Or the CDTC. Maybe I would, if I was in charge of that, I would probably have. I don't care if I had to pay for it myself somehow. Just have a really cool life-size replica of the monument, and just drive it to 6 inches from that line and put it down and take every picture for everyone and make sure that everyone got their certificate of completion from us.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Have you applied for the permit?
No, I just have been busy, logistically in the last 3 days to get everything going. But there's a couple people that I was hiking with, one of which I hiked with in around, and we talk a lot. He was on the PCT with last year too, and he showed us the pictures. You get your a new whole ID for this defense ID. He applied for it, and within under 24 hours he got it approved and got the thing. So there's how many CDT hikers are there? I mean, it couldn't take very long, but that's not the point, really. I don't know. I don't think the Army really wants to do this either,
Right.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. I'm traveling from the United States to the United States.
Yeah.
I might be oversimplifying it, but.
Yeah.
Is there a vibe on trail of people being like, we'll just do it anyway? There's no way that they could possibly have people at every mile of the border? Because I feel like if I weren't from here, and I was mid-hike and I got that news, I'd be like, I'm going to fucking risk it.
Yeah, there's a couple people that have I've heard that said, well, I'm just going to go anyway, and then a bunch of people was like, don't do that, because they start going over all the penalties of stuff, and I don't want anybody to get in trouble either.
Yeah.
I mean, could they make it? Probably. I mean, they don't have but that's not, but that 1%, is that worth it? I don't know. And, I try to, I know this is different, but, all the rules of whether we're in state parks or national parks or whatever the case may be, I try to adhere to everything, every permit, I think it's important, because who knows? It's like, well, the guy's like a thru-hiker. Yeah, that's probably how they all. I don't want to be that guy that ruins the whole community. So maybe, but there is rumblings about that. But with every one rumbling, there's 5 people say don't, and they start
checks and balances.
They start rattling off the 2 years in prison, whatever fine, this, that, and the other. So I don't know what this is so recent.
Yeah.
And so new. I don't know what the solution is, but it's just disappointing that there has to be a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I'm proud of our country, and I'm definitely proud of the Triple Crown of trails and all the parks and all the rangers and everybody that's affiliated with all those, and it's a point of pride, and I don't know. I just feel like
it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
How has this trail compared to the other 2 for you?
It's kind of in between, It's weird geographically how they are, AT and the PCT being the kind of the bookends, and the CDT being in the middle, and it feels like it's the middle. It looks, and kind of moves more like the PCT, but the mentality is more like the AT.
In what way?
Just more gangster, I think the PCT is probably the most beautiful thing I've hiked through, but it's also, it's not softer, because it's hard. It was hard, especially for me. Everything's tough for me, and but it's just, I don't know. It's gangster. I don't know. The AT and the CDT are just, people mean business. You know, you can read the far out comment difference between the AT and the PCT. The PCT is a lot of, I don't know, existential thoughts. The AT is like 3 tenths, turn left. You'll see a big tree. There's a dog. Pet dog 3 times, then move along. It's like, okay, and you can follow that exactly. And so it's, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not used to people comparing the AT and CDT to being together. I'm used to people probably more putting the CDT with the PCT, so that's a little different.
Because they look a lot alike.
Yeah.
The things that you go through, Glacier National, which is unbelievable. I think the Winds was my favorite of the CDT, and like Cirque du Towers. That's really Cirque du Towers was great. But it has it's not the same as the PCT, like the Sierras and stuff. But it, like a saying from when I was a kid, they're not the same product, but they can be found on the same aisle in the store.
Yeah.
The AT is at a different aisle. It's in the back where they sell the day old donuts, kind of a thing, but I don't know. The AT is just, I think there's a better sense of community on the AT, and just kind of has a punk rock feel to it, and there's more towns, and and there's everyone is so much more aware of on the AT. Like the people that aren't on the AT go, what do you need, and just stuff, and weather's worse for some reason, even though it's so much lower. And you hit rain, and then everyone's trying to, it's like, well, it's coming. We could, you have cell service, so you can look at the radar and go, it's going to hit us, and it's 5 miles to that shelter. Or that other shelter we left is 9 tenths behind. Let's just go backwards and go. And you go, and then some people were racing 3 miles, north to get to the same thing. Then you hang out, and go, where have you been? And then you hang out in the shelter all night, and it creates, I don't know, what's the word? not community, but just it seems like you're more battle fatigued together on the AT.
Yeah. That makes sense. What have the social dynamics been like on the CDT? Did you form a hiking family right away?
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, there's so many variables to everything.
Yeah.
So when I started in Glacier, there was a couple of people who I really, really like. Gon and Druby, they were coming in. We were on the AT in 23 together, and so when they were coming, I was excited, and I had gotten through Glacier, but they got there a few days late, so they were going through, and I said, well, just catch up, and I was going through the Bob Marshall, and they're fast, so they caught up, and we hiked together for a little bit, and then the red line went, and then there's the Big Sky alternate, and at this point, my rule was to not have any preconceived deal. When I get to a section, whatever I think or whatever wind blows, whatever to me that day, I'm going to do that. Meet some people and like, we're going to go this way. I'm like, yeah, just go with you guys, And I was going to the llama ranch at the beginning, and I met some people that were on like a little weekend hike, and they watched my channel. And they said, hey, we knew you'd be around here. And I started talking to them, and I didn't go to the llama ranch. I just hiked 16 miles with them and just camped with them and just hung out, and just thought, I think these people are just wandering in here for a reason, so let's just go. And it was a bunch of climbing. I should have went to the llama ranch. So I took off with them, and then we split, and there was a couple of really cool Danish folks, people that had done the PCT together in I think 22ish, and they're going, we're going to Big Sky, we've downloaded the thing if you want to go with us. And I go, well, what's it? And they started explaining to me. I go, yeah, okay. And so I went, and then the others went the other way, and they were comparing pictures, and I made the right choice, I think. And so you do that, and then, but I've hiked with like 4 or 5 little groups, but there isn't the same amount of people. You guys know on the PCT and the AT that the CDT is so much smaller.
Yeah.
So we're all talking. We have a common thread that there's got to be 40, 50 people on. And so that, and Instagram and stuff. So everybody kind of knows. And I had people just pop into Pagosa where I'm at in the last day, and we have a rental car now, so to get here, and so I was like able to get them, give them a ride, and so I know them from the beginning. So that part's good. The PCT, it seems like if you lose somebody, they're just gone forever. I mean, maybe that was just, but my trail family on that we were 8. We ended up with 8. So that was the biggest, and we're all still in touch.
Yeah. 8 for how long?
Almost all of it.
Wow.
We actually started with 7. We were in 7 deep pretty much by, I think, just north of Idlewild. And then we had configured something. We went down to 6, and then we went back to 8. Or went up to 8. And then we were 8 through, I think, almost all of Oregon and Washington. And we'd come into a campsite with people, and by that time, everyone kind of face that's around you, at least a day or front or behind. And they go, hey, what are y'all doing? But I could see in their eyes, like, fuck these people, man. Because there's so many tents, know. You could see, I'm like, well, is there enough room? Because we were thinking about going a little further, which we weren't. I'm like, no, we can make it. Are you sure? We're a lot. I try to, ease it down.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to steal Chaunce's requisite question, unless you want to take it. You know where I'm going.
No.
AT, PCT, CDT, fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh, good Lord. Kill. Well, I think the PCT is too beautiful, and you don't want the beauty to fade, so you marry her. No. you fuck the AT. And you just go ahead. It's too bad. It's just because it's the third, it's the last of the party. You just kill the CDT.
Yeah.
Part 2, you've done 3 Caminos.
Uh-huh.
So now same thing, but with the Caminos.
Ooh. I think you marry the Norte. It's the most beautiful. You run along the coast there, and you go through like San Sebastian and Santander and Bilbao. I went to the Bilbao, the Guggenheim. I took a day off of Bilbao, did that. It just never ends with the beauty. Yeah, fuck the Francis, even though I'm probably that might be the one I redo, the main route to Santiago. That's the old established route. And Portuguese is too short. I did the spiritual variant, which I added a day, so kill it.
Cool. What about you wants to redo the Francaise?
Well, it was kind of my plan when I did the 2020, when I did the idea to, if I could make it to 2028, which I'll be 60 in 2028, for my 60th birthday, I'd like to go over and do, I might do the Dolomites or something like that, but I'm going to get back to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, France, to the beginning of the Camino Frances, where it started in 2018. And I want to invite all my favorite people from every hike I've done from 2018 to that point, PCT, AT, whatever, this one, and open invite to meet me there. And we all take off on April 4th. And when we arrive in Santiago together, whatever, 32 days, 33, hopefully we'll screw around, so maybe it'd be 35 days, and then that's it. I'm retired from the through hiking.
You retiring?
Yeah, I can do section hikes after that. I can. I know a million people in the hiking world now, and whenever I see a friend on something real cool, I can go out and hike 100, 150, maybe 200 miles with them, and get to spend time with them. Get to enjoy my favorite part of a trail, and hopefully I have a car, and maybe I can slack them a little bit or at the end, and that'll be it. So I'll still get to do it, but I'm just gonna see what if I make it to that far, I'll just see what else life has to go and just move to the next chapter. There'll still be lots of travel and adventure and things like that. But
yeah, it seems like obviously you're loving the backpacking now.
Yeah.
Why the planned retirement? Just a new chapter?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to hold on. I think it's dangerous to hold on to anything that you're doing too long. Anything that any profession that I hold value in, not that this is a profession, but kind of, it's whatever you're doing. I think you climb and climb and climb, and then you kind of hit kind of a sweet spot where you're the shit. And then you start to go, I'm 57 now, I'm carrying this, the cancer and just everything that's going, even if this wasn't my plan, it should be, just let's focus. No, there's like nobody, everyone I hike with is like, the next oldest person's like 34, everybody's 20s and 30s. So, that should tell you something, and I think I'll have a good fat resume at that point, and that should be enough.
Yeah. And
I just need to explore other things in life.
Yeah. And
try to do that. Backpacking and hiking will always be there, and I'll always try and there's cool places I want to go, so I can always still, do cool things. It may not be a through hike, but really cool things that I'm exploring, and I still have stuff to, I can film it and put it on YouTube, and so other people can see that if enjoyed this stuff can go, oh, that's cool, Egypt or whatever the case may be.
Speaking of YouTube, walk me through the importance of documenting these journeys. Did you start with the AT?
No,
before?
I started with the when I got out of cancer, or pretty much, and I decided to go back. I missed that first AT window, and I decided to go back and do the Portuguese and the Norte back to back. I decided I was going to do the YouTube. Hindsight, I don't know if I would, because I try to be as real time as I can be. So a lot of times at the end of the day, I'm super tired, and I'm usually more tired than other people. But I'm in my tent trying to edit and stuff, and people are like, "I don't know why you're doing. You're so stupid." How do you do that? And I go, I don't know. I don't know if I made a good decision. But then I always look back, and I feel it's a great decision. When I'm not doing it anymore, it's a great decision. And I'm very happy with it and proud to do it.
Yeah.
But that was the decision I made then. And it's turned out real well. But I don't know.
You mentioned people that watch the channel came up and met up with you on CDT. Has that been happening quite a bit on other trails as well?
On other trails, yeah, there's not that many people on this trail,
Right.
so I don't see it. Every once in a while I'll bump into somebody. The PCT was kind of a lot. I had a lot for me. I
Yeah.
mean, not somebody that's like super, like 100,000 people on YouTube, not that person. But I had people that would go, hey, and I was just watching. And it's like, but those people were just, I think I had released day one of the CDT, like day 4 into it. And I started on the 13th of June. So I'm pretty early, because they told me, they said, you're the very first person that we've seen a video of the 25 CDT so far. So I think that's why I had some people early on. So, but they lived right around there. They
Yeah.
were just goofing around.
Yeah.
Looks like you've been seeing some moose. The most recent one.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's funny. I've never seen a moose before. So the AT, they told me, once you get north, especially Maine, you're definitely going to see moose. I'm like, God, that's awesome. I can't wait. Well, I never saw moose. And I'd get into, on the AT, you may be hiking alone, but everyone's kind of going for the same 1 or 2 spots. And you get in, and so I'm seeing 10 people that I know, and they're talking about all the moose they've seen. They're teaching moose to ride bicycles and everything else. And I go, I didn't see any. And they're like showing me pictures. And no, that's the bear. Hold on, bear. Here's moose. I'm like, I didn't see bears. I've seen bears, but at that point, but not like them and everybody. So I never saw a moose. And then at the PCT, they said, well, when you get to Washington, you could see moose, and went there, nothing. So the CDT, I saw my very first moose, Rocky Mountain National Park, not Montana, nowhere.
Yeah.
So
It's good. You got your moose experience.
yeah, now I see moose all the time.
Yeah. Once you break the seal.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen, I don't know, I've probably had 6-7 days that had moose involvement.
Yeah.
So,
and you mentioned that you're in Pagosa right now.
yeah.
Are you looking forward to being in New Mexico? I know you had mentioned that that's where your mom's at, and
Yeah.
like you had spent a lot of time desert hiking. Like, is there a lot of sentimental value in
Sure,
the last stretch?
Yeah, I'm originally from southern Oklahoma. I lived a long time in Texas, and so New Mexico is just next door. So I've spent a lot of my, long time. I really learned to ski in New Mexico when I was a kid, and so New Mexico is real special to me, and I've always felt a kinship to it. So I feel like when I'm there, when I'm going, and especially once I get south of Chaunce and it kind of flattens out, I feel like I'm just going to kind of fly. And I feel like I'm kind of, there's those places in the world that just feel like home. New Mexico's always had kind of a home feel, so I feel like I'm getting to home field.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you mentioned that 2028 is the Camino Victory Lap.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got planned in between?
Next year I'm hoping to do the Shakura 88, Japan 88 temple. And then for 27 I have the Teorora on my list.
Nice.
I mean, up until basically the end of the PCT, I was extremely rigid with this schedule. The schedule was, dear to me from where I've started to make it at, and I've held on with a death grip.
Yeah.
And it's really been just this last year in this hike that I was like, you know what? If something comes up and you switch things around a little bit and maybe do this one here and that's fine.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah. You're keeping your heart open to other possibilities.
I am.
Yeah.
I
mean, once you get the Triple Crown, you've checked that off. You've got the whole world is your oyster.
Yeah, I think I can let off the gas a smidge.
Yeah.
But can I?
Is it tough for you in the off season? Because obviously your off season is more challenging than the average person's off season for obvious reasons. Like,
yeah, I mean, It is, but it's my life though now. So I mean, it's my new normal's weird, but it's still normal for me. So it's not really any different. I still have, one thing about it is you come off and trail depression's a real thing, and usually that's weighing heavy, and it takes kind of the steam off of whatever test I just flunked. Because I'm more involved, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Wish I could stop eating donuts too. I'm not hiking at all. So, but yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
But I'm super lucky, and I know that, and I always feel like, well, if I can just get to the next hike, if I can just get to the next one, I can at least make it.
Yeah.
And then whatever the next test is, whatever, I'm here now. I can go.
Someone listening to this, let's say they've gotten a recent cancer diagnosis. Is there one thing that you'd like to pass along to them?
I don't know. It's really, honestly, it is what I said at the beginning. Keep your mind clear. Don't read stuff. Don't let anyone close to you start, because everybody around you reads everything, and then they want to tell you, and then you've told them not to tell you, but they still kind of will sort of just mention something. And you're going to say, look, man, if you're going to start talking about this, we just can't talk. I mean, I'm in this deal. I got to get to the end. I can't be doing this.
Yeah.
We got to, laugh. Stay laughing, stay focused, follow your, control what you can control, which is same thing for everything. When I was in the midst of everything and really bad, I could control nothing. Nothing was under my control. But I could make sure I was 5 to 10 minutes early for every single appointment, and come in and make sure I'm smiling, because these chemo nurses and stuff, their life sucks. Because people die all the time and everything. And I come in and I can remember names, and I could make an effort to remember the last thing we talked about, their kids in school or whatever. Just talk about that. That's what I found I could control, is I could make their crap job of being a chemo nurse just a little easier with me. That takes your mind off of you. That's the only thing I can really tell you.
Yeah, that's powerful. Do you have anything else that you want to?
No, I think that's a great place to end.
We'll end with the requisite sponsor question, the Stay Salty question presented by Element. Use our code drinklmnt.com/trek for a free sample pack with your order. Do you have a hot take in the world of backpacking or the outdoors at large?
A hot take. Focus me a little.
An either unpopular opinion or just something you feel very strongly about that maybe other people aren't talking about, or just like if you had like a 30-second TED talk on anything that you've done related to through hiking, what would you convey?
Second breakfast.
Yeah, love that.
First breakfast, don't get out of your tent when it's cold. Just do it in the vestibule. I drink like a crummy cup of, not crummy, but just a moderate cup of coffee, and kind of like a bar for first breakfast. And then second breakfast is about 10:30, and I have a fancy Starbucks coffee with like some sort of a double chocolate chip muffin.
Love that.
Yeah.
What is the crummy coffee?
Like not crummy, but like I don't want to ruin all my endorsements that I don't have.
Yeah, shout out to Folgers.
Yes.
Well, I don't go that far down. But like crummy coffee that I like. I don't mean crummy. I just mean not necessarily Italian roast.
The get you out of bed coffee.
Cafe Bustelo.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's not as good as Italian roast.
Okay.
I'm getting messages that it's great.
Well, you know what? You're really turning me around here. Maybe I've misspoke.
I've never had it. I'm just scanning the room.
Oh, okay.
Facial
Well,
expressions.
well, not everybody's with us. But if Cafe Bustelo wants to, help me, I will do away with the other. It will move up to the top rank spot.
Yeah. I guess before we wrap, what's the story behind the trail name, Long Strides?
Well, I'm kind of tall and I have I'm pretty long-legged, so everybody thinks that's it, and I don't really. I was like, yeah, man, cool. I just let it go, but it came out at the beginning because there's no trail names on the Caminos. So when I started the AT, I knew that you could get a trail name, but I didn't want to give myself. Someone needs to give you your trail name. Every once in a while, you meet someone they give them they're like the Terminator, and it's like, I got it, brother. Yeah, solid. That helps you out of that water crossing, but yeah, Terminator, I got you. And so I thought, well, whatever somebody gives me, I'm running with it. Day one, I did the approach trail. I did the up the stairs at the falls, and then I did the 8-mile approach trail. Hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just started it. I was so beat up. And I meet a guy that's like, I'm 2 miles, maybe, probably 1.5 miles in. And he was, he said, I don't know, he looked like he was like a drill sergeant in the Army. And he's just like, hey, and just, and he haircut and just the outfit, just everything. And he was on the hike too. He goes, are you on the AT? I go, yeah. He goes, you start today, right? I go, well, yeah, I'm 1.5 miles. Yeah. And he goes, oh, it's awesome. Me too. And super nice guy, just as nice can be. He goes, well, where are you from? It's normal chit chat. And he goes, are you going all the way? And I go, yeah, that's the plan, all the way, Mount Katahdin. And he goes, me too, man, me too. And I said, and it was like on a Tuesday or whatever it was. I said, we'll probably Sunday, we'll probably get there, And he starts to laugh a little, and I go, I'm not ridiculous. We're going to use long strides, but Sunday sounds right. And he just kind of looks at me like, stupid. But he goes, and that's how you get your trail name. Good to meet you, Long Strides. And off he went. And I never saw him again. And I thought, that's kind of a stupid. I don't want to be that. But then I also don't want to be, I don't want someone to go, yeah, your trail name's stupid ass. I don't want that either. So I don't make it to that first day. I can't make it all the way to Springer. So I camp at that spot right before whatever that thing is, Big Bear or something. I don't know what it is. And so I go up the next day, and there's this real nice couple, this guy and gal that are like, I don't know, like 30-ish. They're just kind of day hiking around there. And I pull that the little ledger out that you sign at Springer, and I'm just kind of sitting there because I think, if I write down Long Strides, that's it. Yeah. I can't do that. I go, but I want something. I want a Terminator, right? So, and I'm kind of talking to them, and I was like, I don't know what to write, and I kind of told them that story, and they're like, "That's an awesome name. I love Long Strides. It's great. Your legs are pretty long. Just people." And I go, "No, if I go, no, write it down." So I wrote it down. That was it.
Literally, it's like a legally binding contract at that point.
I think it is like maybe Judge Judy level legally binding, but still legally binding.
Well, Long Strides, thank you so much for joining us here in Backpacker Radio. Your story is very inspiring. Where should people go to keep up with you? Obviously, plug your Instagram and YouTube and anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you can just pull my name. It's Jeff Vonvai. Vonvai is VONVAI, all one word. And I think someone told me that if you pull Long Strides, it pulls one of them up. But just Jeff Vonvai is the easiest way. There's only one of me, so it goes right to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything. And if anybody, has a question about anything, just message me.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us here on Backpacker Radio.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate it. To the Trek propaganda portion of today's show. Got a couple of articles. First one, I think we kind of covered during the interview itself. CDT hikers, U.S. citizenship, Army permit now required to access southern terminus. Obviously, very big news, not only just for the CDT, but I'd say through hiking and kind of the world at large. Access to the CDT southern terminus now requires U.S. citizenship and an Army-issued permit after more than 100,000 acres near the Mexico border were transferred to military control. The new national defense area includes the southern 1.1 miles of the trail, making entry without authorization a federal offense. In response, the CDTC has rerouted its shuttle to stop north of the restricted zone while helping hikers navigate the new permit process. And as Jeff mentioned, he's seen people get the permit pretty quickly. That's been kind of what I've been seeing online as well. Obviously, that doesn't do anything for you if you're not from the U.S. So, just fucking sucks. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
And we'll do a two for today. Highlight this one, new contributor. How I hiked the CT Colorado Trail for less than $1,000. Again, new contributor Moonbeam, which is James, our social guy's partner, completed the 485-mile Colorado Trail in 31 days on a budget of just $774.59, averaging under $25 per day. Some of the tips outlined in the article include using credit card points for travel, minimizing town days and restaurant spending, and leaning heavily on hiker box resupplies. Here's a quote from the article. Did I eat questionable cast-off homemade meals? Yes, including one from a Ziploc bag that said, chicken does not rehydrate, where I intermittently spit out small chicken pieces that resembled pebbles. There were also some good finds, such as when someone's hiking partner dropped out, and I got an entire resupply for free in Twin Lakes, chock full of Annie's mac and cheese, couscous creations, and Cliff Bars. To get the full rundown on how to hike the CT for less than $1,000, less than $1,000 comfortably, link will be in the show notes. Cool. Question of the day. If I got arrested, what crime would you assume I committed? I was a little torn on the proverbial I in this question. Is that me? Is that you? Is that Rachel?
We answer it for each other. So
Okay.
if I were to get arrested, what do you think I would get arrested for?
Okay.
And if you were to get arrested, what do I think you would get arrested for?
Yeah, I think yours is easy.
Really?
Yeah.
What am I getting arrested for?
Tax evasion.
What?
Because it seems like you, not intentionally.
Yeah, like IRS, don't listen to this.
I feel like especially earlier on in the backpacker radio run, you get stressed out about the tax stuff, and I could just see you like skipping out on doing it altogether.
No, see, I think if anything, I'm the least likely to get arrested for that because it stressed me out so much that I never like want to have to deal with it.
Sure.
In a way.
That last sentence is what I'm leaning on here, is not to want to have to do it.
Yeah, but that means you do everything perfect so that you never then have to deal with anything bad.
Yeah. Just saying, if
Yeah.
someone's like, Chaunce went down because she just 1 year
No,
put her
I don't.
foot down, the way that you're talking about, like, you know what, I'm just going to march the 1.1 miles south of the terminus is...
I was just saying I could see people thinking that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that would be me because I think that
Get her IRS.
no. I think I would be too scared to break the rules because I would be afraid of having that
Yeah.
dread come back.
Mm-hmm.
Backstory for whoever doesn't know, my pre-dread is that I didn't know that I had to pay quarterly taxes if I was being 1099. And so I got a very surprising you owe X one tax season, and
I bet that one happens all the time, though, because that's not an obvious thing. Like, you
No,
need a tax
yeah.
professional to be like...
I mean, I'm like not still beating myself up about it, but I definitely took a lot of effort to like slow down and learn
Yeah.
some things so that it wouldn't happen again, which is why I couldn't see myself just skipping stuff there. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this will age really poorly and I'll become like a criminal.
You and Wesley Snipes.
Yes, that person.
You know Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
I could pull up his IMDb, but Blade, Major League. There's a lot of White Men Can't Jump. You've never seen any of these movies?
I've because you said Blade, I know that they're movies.
Okay.
But that's also a guess in my brain.
Demolition Man.
Nope,
Apparently he was in the recent Deadpool and
Oh.
Wolverine.
didn't see that either.
Sometimes I forget that I'm 100 years older than you.
Yeah, ancient. I'll remind you.
The Fan. That was a really, really good movie.
Nope.
At least it was. Money Train.
one
Come
either.
on, these are hits. Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything. Julia Newmar.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, these are all before your time.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. So cool. Me and that guy.
Yeah.
If you got arrested, what would you be doing? I feel like alcohol would be involved.
That's a given.
And I think it would be something where you didn't agree with like the principle or the fundamentality behind like the rule. Like you were drinking and you can't go behind this barrier to see this view of this thing or something like that. Like, I'm thinking like the football game we went to. Like, imagine like you couldn't go past this thing and you're drunk and you're a little sneaky and you're like, I don't agree with the thought process behind that rule. I'm going to do it anyway. But then you get caught.
Chaunce, I've got some news for you here.
What?
I've been arrested for basically exactly what you just
Shut
described.
up. You've been arrested?
Like the 19-year-old version. But yeah.
Was it exactly what I said?
There was a part of the bar.
No way.
There was a part of the bar. It was, they had like the fog machine, but it was like roped off because it was too early. Like they weren't letting people back there. So I went back there, I think twice. They kicked me out of the area and then they kicked me out of the bar. And then I like kept fighting with the bouncer about like, you can't kick me out of this place. My friends are in there. This is bullshit. And he's like, if you don't get out of here, the cops are going to come and they're going to throw you in the paddy wagon. I'm like, yeah, right. Let's go. Yeah, I got arrested, spent the night in jail.
I can't believe I just fucking got that. Yeah. A night?
Yep.
Your mom didn't come get you?
I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yeah,
Oh.
this was like spring break type of
That's so funny.
fake ID style. How did I not get busted for that? Maybe you can be in bars before you're 21 there. I forget exactly, but yeah, it was like dumb high school bullshit.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally hit a
What can I
bullseye
say?
with
Know
that
you
one.
well.
That was pretty good. Yeah. So I'd like to think that I've matured from my 19-year-old self. That was 48 years ago.
I'm impressed with myself.
That was good. That was really good. I thought maybe because Jess and I were chatting a little bit before, just going through some of the show notes stuff, and I had mentioned to her, I'm like, did she spill the secret to you? Because I gave her the story I just gave you. I think she also came up with a similar answer. So maybe I'm just very predictable.
Yeah, you're a predictable guy.
Yeah. Good.
Are you ready for my thing of the week?
Yeah.
I got a call from my videographer today that they forgot to push record when I came down the aisle. So everything until like we're at the arch doing the ceremony, like doing that, everything of everyone entering, my dad walking me down, Garrett seeing me, no footage, none of it. So I guess the video will be us getting ready into surprise. Now we're at the altar and the ceremony's already happening.
So they got the ceremony at least.
Yeah, but no coming up the aisle with Harper, no bridal party coming up the aisle, no parents coming up the aisle, no Garrett seeing me, no Across the Stars Star Wars song.
Yeah.
Walk down.
Have you already paid this person?
Yes.
Like the full thing?
Yes. He did say that like whatever, he was very vague about it, but he said, like, I forgot how he worded it. I recorded the conversation so I could play it back. But basically he was like, let me know what you guys want. Like what the fix is for you guys.
He's saying like, you suggest how much I owe you.
So I posted in a wedding videographer page just like the scenario and like what the package includes, how much it cost, what parts were missing, and like asked just to crowdsource like what do you guys think fair is as people in the industry? That way I can take what I think is fair and either like temper it or be like, hey, I'm not mad enough. I don't know. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that Garrett thinks I'm handling it very well. I think I just like haven't processed it yet. Like I'm never gonna get to watch myself walk down the aisle.
Yeah. Someone's got to have it on a cell phone, right?
No, because we were very, very, very adamant that if I saw a phone, I'd throw it into the lake. So silly me. Yeah. So there's a second camera, but the second camera is pointed at the arch at an angle where you can't see the aisle. And so you can literally see the videographer standing there with the camera in his hand in that video. That's what they showed me.
Yeah.
And so you can see him there, and he's like, so you can see that he's doing it and doing all this stuff, but he must not have pressed record. So of all the weddings they've done, of the 40-plus weddings that specific videographer has done, they've never had this happen once, and I get to be the lucky person who it happened to.
You're the Acuna of
yes,
weddings.
I am the Acuna of weddings. So, yeah, that's my thing of the week. I'm still processing it.
Did you get a number from the crowdsourced opinion that you think is fair?
It's really all over the place. It's everything from it's not going to change anything, let it slide, to I would be demanding 50%. And I think 50% is too much.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think nothing's fair either. but I'm trying to figure out like what is appropriate, like what would make it sting a little less, because it like 3-4 minutes of the ceremony, like when everyone's walking up there, that is something. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
And those are important moments that we just like never get now. But I also want to be fair, and I want I want to be understanding of like no one does this intentionally. Like they're probably beating themselves up about it too. So I want it to feel fair on both ends.
You know, in Photoshop now, like if you zoom out, there's the option on a photo, there's the option to do like the generative fill, where like it'll use AI to fill space as you zoom out on like a photo that doesn't actually exist. I wonder if they can use AI to like replicate the whole ceremony moment.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want that.
You've got like 12 fingers.
I've also had like the thought
I don't.
of, well, I could get photos from the photographer and have them just like slideshow the photos in that part of the video. At least we do have photos of it. Knock on wood that nothing happens to Puma's camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we'll have the photos of it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we got that call 2 hours ago.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. If it's any consolation, we watched our wedding video like the week after the wedding, and I haven't even like thought of it once since.
I mean, like worse things look at the episode we're doing. Like I've got my health, you
That's
know, like worse things
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, like it's not like the biggest thing. It's not like all the footage is gone. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's fine. It's just a bummer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. You got to figure that out. So I'm reading all these crowdsourced things on what people are saying. They've got good points on both ends of things.
Leave us a voicemail with what you think you would do in this position.
I haven't cried yet, which is shocking. I would think that I would have, but maybe it just hasn't hit.
Too fresh.
Maybe I just haven't realized it.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, it could be worse. Like, you know, like I still got all these other clips of it. So maybe I am just like fine with it. But I don't know. Maybe I am upset and I just haven't realized it yet.
Sure. We'll revisit this in the next podcast, see where you're at.
I'll tell you what the verdict is, but we'll figure it out. I think we'll settle on something, and like the takeaway will just be like, and maybe we just won't give you a review. Like, you know, because I don't want to give you a negative review, and you know, like mistakes happen every now and then, and I'm sure that you're going to change your processes to make sure that doesn't happen again. I don't think a negative review would help anything, but I'm also not just going to be like,
it was amazing,
here's a positive review, because obviously it's not. So I think that whatever we find a happy middle on, the like my give back will be like, how about we just don't do the review.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, that's thing of the week, crisis of the week in the world of Chaunce.
I originally pitched it as fun thing of the week. I see now that not so much fun.
Yeah, fun was used in a silly way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's do the triple crown of things that make you cringe. I don't know who came up with this, but
Me.
okay.
What?
I feel like we could just parlay directly from the question of the day, or the fun thing of the week.
Yeah.
Losing an important moment of your wedding for a video of your wedding is kind of cringy.
Is that cringy? I'm thinking cringy like my first thing that makes me cringe is people that call you hun. That aren't a grandma.
Yeah.
Like people my age that walk around calling everyone hun.
Better or worse when it comes from a man versus a woman? Or not different.
It's like demeaning both times.
Yeah.
But like with the man, it's maybe a little. Which one would be worse? I think the from a girl is a little more bitchy. Whereas from a man, it's just like, here's a man viewing me as less than, as always. So yeah, I think it's just like a different, but both cringe. Like, especially when you see someone, like you're just watching, like you're sitting at a table and like someone's calling someone else hun, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's find a different word.
I agree with that. With one important exception, if it's a woman older than me with a Southern accent, then I'll allow it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and grandmas.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Good. Same page. I know I've said this one before because this is like my prototypical thing that is cringy, is when people post videos of them crying on social media.
Yes.
That is like, this is the beacon of cringe, in my opinion.
Yes.
Which I know probably a generational thing. People that grew up with social media, it's, I think, much more natural to just project all your emotional states. But yeah, for old fellers like me, it's like so cringe it's funny. I laugh when I see someone cry on social media, which is probably not the most empathetic response, but just knowing that in the moment of you being that upset, you had the sense of mind to grab your phone, flip the camera around, and like it has to be a little bit of a performative cry at that point.
Yeah, that is such a good answer.
Yeah.
I like feel the feeling of cringe hearing you say that.
Yeah. My next one is I've had this a couple of times, spaced out by a good number of years, but when someone that you haven't talked to in a good number of years sends you like a Facebook DM trying to pitch you on their multi-level marketing thing that they've been sucked into.
I haven't gotten that yet.
I've had a couple of like people that like I vaguely knew in San Diego or from high school. It's just like there's always the awkward intro DM that's like, what is happening here? I know you're not trying to catch up. People don't do that. And then the next thing's like, hey, how would you like to
take back your time? Spend more time with your kids.
Yeah.
Be your own boss.
Yeah. It's obviously awkward because then like I'm not going to respond to you. That is awkward that I'm just blatantly ignoring you. But also I feel bad for you. Like I'm guessing financially you're at a place where you feel like that's the thing that you have to resort to try to make money. And I know that's probably not an ideal scenario. It's not ideal for anyone. You don't want to be the recipient. You don't want to be the person giving it. But yeah, just like very awkward.
Yeah. Okay, those are two good ones.
Thanks.
Loud eaters / lip smacking. Like when you're just like, you know, like when you're eating something and you just don't know how to not be loud about it.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear the sounds your mouth makes when you're chewing something or eating something. And if you lack the awareness or you don't even realize you're doing it, like I'm sitting there just twitching the whole time.
Yeah.
And like maybe even leaving the room.
Sure.
It's very hard to just sit through a meal where someone's eating loudly.
And we know you're in good company there because the one time we did that on the podcast, we got feedback.
Yeah.
That's a fair one, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
My last one, being rude to wait staff.
Yes.
Like when you see someone being rude to wait staff, it's so hard to just like see that happen. Or if someone's like when we were on the honeymoon, there was a couple at one of the resorts that was at the desk next to when we were at the desk, and they were just angry about something, and they were just being dicks. And we were just sitting there like, and we'd make eye contact with like the people at the desk, and we'd be like, yeah, I don't know, just cringe. Just be nice to people.
I agree. Being mean to service people. There's often times where like I get very frustrated with especially customer service, and I know like a lot of times nowadays you're not even speaking to somebody in the United States where like I'm at 11 out of 10 frustrated, but I'm trying to convey to them that I'm frustrated but not at them. Like let me be very clear that I hate your company. I know you have no part in my frustration right now, but like please tell somebody above you that X, Y, and Z is just outrageously wrong. I've been on the phone a lot with Meta of late.
Yeah.
That's a frustrating experience. My last one. Yes. People who have a podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously guilty as charged.
My last one was going to be me. Just
yeah,
me.
Yeah.
Everything I do makes me cringe.
Yeah. But I feel that way about other people. I mean, like I listen to a
not
lot
us,
of
of course.
No. I feel that way, especially about myself, not you. Just having a podcast, being like, yeah, listen to me talk is a cringe thing. I'm acknowledging that
we are cringe.
it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. But also, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, so it's not podcasts as a medium. It's just like there's so many podcasts out there. You have to be really fucking good
Yeah.
for it to be worth someone's time. And that's not true for a lot of them. Honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'll give you Garrett's 3 because I messaged him and asked him for his.
Yeah.
I said, what makes me cringe? And he said scratching your car was his first one. I was like, what do you mean scratching my car? Like, what does that mean? So we're going to ignore that one.
Okay.
But we'll read the 3 that he gave that make sense, which is when old men use new lingo.
Okay.
Apparently makes him cringe. When someone around you says I love you too early to someone who's not into them.
That's funny.
And stepping on water with socks on.
Yeah, like a cringe feeling, sure.
So.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The I love you one is
that is
especially
funny.
good. I also consulted with Jess. Her suggestion was people who talk on a phone in a public setting.
Yes.
Very good. My last one, this is me. Anyone who's like who's a dude my age or older, kind of in the sphere, who uses social media for any reason other than to get ass or like promote their business venture. Like I just think once you get to a certain age and you post on social media, from me personally, it's cringe. I hate using social media, and I know I'm a hypocrite. I post pictures of like my dog and my kids on stories at least. And I feel cringe about it every single time. But like most of my friends don't even have social media, and that's a thing that I love about them.
Yeah.
But I also want to give the caveats of like, if you're single, you have to do it because like that's an area where you're gonna go fishing, and if you have business ventures, like that's kind of where all of the people are. So you can't not be.
Fair.
Yeah.
I just thought of another one and then I forgot it. People who don't realize that their butt crack is showing. Like, I mean, yeah.
The classic plumber scenario.
Yeah, like, you don't notice?
Yeah.
You don't feel it?
Yeah.
You're walking around and I can see the top of your butt crack and you don't notice that.
Yeah. No, I'd like to think that doesn't ever happen to me. I can't say with great confidence because I don't have eyes in the back of my head. But to your point, like I feel a draft when my shirt's up and it's uncomfortable. Like, yeah. Oh man, now if my butt crack's ever out,
trust me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you to put it away.
Yeah.
It's just like such an ugly view.
You know, top of butt crack is.
There's no scenario where it's hot.
Not even hot. It's just it's kind of like a fart. Like it's always funny.
Yeah, I think having the top of your butt crack show is like a fart.
Yeah.
Because it's just not cute.
But you're never in on the joke. You're always being laughed at. Whereas like if you fart, you can be in on the joke. If you are unknowingly given off top of ass crack, you are the butt of the joke. Pun, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cringe.
Good. I love the intro to Happy Gilmore where he's going through all of his previous jobs, and it's all just like him doing the humping thing,
Yeah.
and then he ends with "and a plumber," and it's just his full ass out. 90s kids will know what I'm talking about. Cool. That was the triple crown of things that make you cringe. Me, I am cringy. Mailbag.
This one's to you. Hi, Zach. Not long ago, I saw you were looking for suggestions for people to have on your podcast. I hiked the AT in 23 and think my friend Jeff Vonvai long strides would be a terrific guest. He's been living with stage 4 cancer for several years, yet decided to become a thru-hiker. He was in my tramily on the AT. After finishing that, he went home for the winter for more chemo and then completed the PCT in 2024. He has his eye on the Triple Crown, then a list of international hikes. He is a strong hiker, an upbeat, engaging, talkative person, and I think an interview with him would be a lot of fun. He has a YouTube channel, Jeff Vonvai. If you want to check him out, he could be reached through Facebook and Instagram. Thanks, Cheryl Village Tart, AT 2023. Surprise, Cheryl, we did it. And this is a great reminder that if you have someone that you think would be a great guest, we have a suggest a guest form, and we look through it frequently and take advice from people who give good guest recommendations, and 100%. We try to make it happen. Obviously, we record out of Denver, so if you know that whoever you want to refer would be coming through Denver, like that's always really helpful to include. If you know their upcoming travel plans and you're like, hey, this person would be great. I know they're going to be passing through the area in February. Like, great info for us. Perfect. We will try to make it happen.
Yeah. Well said. Also, we get often, usually from the guests themselves, like, how did you find out about me?
Yeah.
And I don't ever know what to say because we operate on a project management system. And
Yeah.
like we pull from so many different places. So apparently this one came from a mailbag. So
Sure.
always shoot your shot because we are listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, backpackradio.com or podcast at thetrack.co to get through to us.
And I'll also say, search Backpacker Radio in the name of the person to make sure they haven't been on first.
We do get that a lot.
This was more of like a spicy message we had gotten, so we just kind of disregarded it. But a spicy message about people we should have on, and then they rattle off people that we should have on, and 3 out of the 4 names we've already had on.
Yeah.
So if you are like, oh my God, you should have this person on, maybe we have. It's like 300 something episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff for everyone.
To the 5-star reviews. This is from Kibbles. Nope, we did this one last time. That was my bad because I added it at the last minute and didn't consult with Rachel. Do we have anything new that we can add?
Well, we might be doing the same thing if we do that again.
That's true. Just the never-ending cycle of being out of sync. We'll skip the 5-star review because Zach messed up the previous show notes. But I guess this is a call for, we would love your guys' 5-star reviews. So head on down to Apple Podcasts, leave us any number of stars.
It's not 1, 2, 3, or 4.
And we will read it here on this podcast. We'll read basically almost anything. Almost
anything.
Yeah. And screenshot it, your review. Email us, podcast@thetrek.co, and we will send you a Backpacker Radio sticker. Thank you to today's title sponsor, LMNT. Use our URL, drinklmnt.com/trek for a free sample pack. I don't know if the sample pack doesn't include the lemonade. So get the free sample pack and then buy the lemonade.
Yeah, the lemonade's worth it.
Yeah, lemonade's still, we're deep into fall now, and I'm still loving on lemonade. I'm not drinking it exclusively. I have now a rotation, and that's heavily in my rotation. But there was a stretch for at least a few weeks where it was like lemonade only. Lemonade is life.
Yeah. I should have saved it before I deleted it, but I made a drunk story on Backpacker Radio for like a hot second if anyone was up at 2 a.m. last weekend. And then I took it down because I was like, this isn't even entertaining. And it was literally just me pouring LMNT into my water to drink it.
Yeah.
And I like the part I remember was me. I started it with "Hey friends and foes," and then it was me and my stupid haircut are gonna make some LMNT. And then I'm like laying on my couch with it, and then I just deleted it. I was like, this isn't even entertaining. I'm not funny.
Were you drunk?
Yeah. I was making it so I didn't get hungover.
Right. Good. Did it work?
Yeah.
Nice.
Always does.
Hell yeah.
So next time I'll leave it up.
You're deep into hangover age now.
Yeah.
You're a real adult.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It's the worst. But yeah, drink LMNT will help your hangovers. It'll also make you feel like $1 million on trail. It's the best. Super big thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners on Patreon. That is Alex and Misty with Navigators Crafting, Andrew, Austin McDaniel, Bill Jensen, Brad and Blair from 13 Adventures, Brian Alsop,
Fables,
Carl Hood, Christopher Marshburn, Clint Sittler, Coach from Marine Outdoors, Eric Casper,
Friendly Ghost,
Eric Hoffman, Ethan Harwell Dunn, Jillian Daniels, Go Bills,
Go Bills,
Greg Knight, Greg Martin, Griffin Hay, Would You Bring Me a Beer, Haley Buckingham,
Alice,
Matt from Gilbert, Arizona, Patrick Ciancialo, Rebecca Braveheart, Rural Juror, Sawyer Products, Spam, the St. Louis Shaman, Timothy Hahn,
Solo,
and Tracy Trigger. Thanks to our guy, Paulie, at Old Man Murph's Coffee Roasters. Go to ommcr.com. Get yourself some delicious beans. You can follow us on social at Backpacker Radio on Instagram and TikTok at BackpackerPod on X, Facebook.com/Backpacker Radio. You can follow Chaunce.
You can find me on Instagram at Juliana_Chauncey and on YouTube at Juliana Chauncey.
And be sure to be...
Oh, and my book, Hiking from Home, A Long Distance Hiking Guide for Family and Friends, is on Amazon.
And be sure to be checking the stories at 2 a.m. That's where all the juicy content is going out.
Yeah. I'll try to be less, I'll try to second guess less next time.
Yeah, no guessing at all. Appalachian Trials and Pacific Crest Trials are my books. Chaunce and I will both be appreciative of a review on Amazon. Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube.
Hi, Internet.
What's up, YouTube? We're starting to get some steam on YouTube, it seems.
Yeah, we hit 4,000 followers, subscribers, I guess, which is exciting.
Yeah. And when you watch on YouTube, it's like you're a part of the studio. Like the camera's right there. It's basically sitting on our lap right now. So you get to sit on our lap.
You can sit on my lap on YouTube.
We tell you if you've been naughty or nice.
Yes.
Coal in your stocking or the latest Hot Wheels.
It's up to you.
My house is nothing but Hot Wheels.
Is it?
It's 3 boys and just all Hot Wheels everywhere you go.
I liked watching them on the curtains.
Yeah, they're cats.
They are. They do. That's a great way to describe it.
They get in the most mischievous places, and like you have to look for them sometimes. You can't just open the bedroom door and be like, nope, not in here. Like, oh, really? Did you open the blinds and the curtain and see that they're standing in the windowsill after climbing the bed frame? Yeah, that's exactly where they are. And like when you come into the room, they get quiet. Like they're hiding from you. They're cats. They're cats. Okay. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening, and happy hiking.
Bye.